Hey, I'm Jessica. If you love cars as much as I do, you're in the right place. From drifting car days to uncovering the world's most iconic rides, gear up and subscribe to Race with Jessica for non-stop car fun.
You know what's interesting? Some bikes grab everyone's attention right away, and then you've got bikes that just do the job. I'm talking about those off-road machines that dealers couldn't move because riders kept walking past them hunting for something with more flash. These weren't championship bikes. The specs didn't get people excited, but the guys who actually got seat time on them, they learned real quick that these machines had way more going on than you'd guess from looking at them. Today, I'm running through 10 off-road bikes that pretty much everyone ignored until they actually swung a leg over one. Number 10. ATK 605 Mid 1990s. The ATK 605 is about as unique as American dirt bikes get. ATK produced these in limited numbers, almost hand-built, with a 598cc Rotax 4-stroke that had major torque and traditional power delivery. They used WP suspension and Brembo brakes, so it felt more European than American, but still had that boutique manufacturer character. Being small was their challenge, though. Most guys never laid eyes on one in real life, and in the big 4-stroke scene, Honda's XR400R and 650L grabbed all the spotlight. ATK simply couldn't match the major brands on marketing or dealer presence. The 605 was strong and actually fairly light for its displacement, excellent in the desert or on open trails. But almost nobody knew these existed. Build quality could vary, and sourcing parts means finding ATK specialists who still have inventory. Still, collectors appreciate these. You'll spend $2,500 to $3,800 for solid examples, $3,800 to $5,500 for clean or uncommon ones. And really pristine museum-quality machines can reach $6,000 to $7,000. Number 9. Kawasaki KDX 1996 to 2007, carbureted models. Ask riders who spend time on tight single track in the woods, and some of them will say the KDX 300R was way underappreciated. The 292cc liquid-cooled 4-stroke wasn't impressive on paper, but it had this smooth, natural character when you were weaving through trees. The bike was light enough to feel agile, and plenty of years came with adjustable suspension, so you could dial it in for your riding. The issue was, dealers marketed it like a beginner bike, and it lived in the shadow of Kawasaki's own KDX 200 and 220, so most riders never looked twice at it. But guys who took it out on technical trails discovered it had strong traction. The power delivered smoothly without tiring you out, and it remained predictable when conditions got challenging. Yeah, the early forks were too soft and hot starts could be frustrating, but all things considered, this bike performed above its class. A solid example runs $2,500 to $3,500 these days, and if you locate a clean one that's been maintained, well, expect $3,500 to $4,500. Number 8. Suzuki DR350, DR350S, DR350 SE, 1990 to 2001. The DR350 is one of those bikes you'd always see at trailheads, but it never got much conversation. Suzuki built it around a 349cc air and oil-cooled single, kept everything simple and dependable, and the handling felt dialed in straight out of the crate. They made a dirt version, a street-legal S model, and then the SE with electric start. Pretty basic approach. Here's what happened, though. Riders looked at the numbers and decided it was just another middle-tier trail bike. Nothing to get excited about. But when you actually took it into tight trails or went on longer adventures, you figured out this bike could do way more than you'd expect. It stayed reliable, didn't cause headaches, and if you spent time tuning the carb and maybe stiffening the suspension, it really woke up. These days, you're paying $2,000 to $3,000 for a decent example, and $3,000 to $3,800 if you locate a clean SE with low mileage. Number 7. Honda XR400R 1996 to 2004. The XR400R is kind of odd because it got sandwiched between two more popular bikes. It ran a 397cc air-cooled engine that was straightforward and bulletproof, kickstart only, and the handling was what many people describe as Honda's perfect balance: stable without being heavy, inspiring confidence without feeling rigid. It performed well on just about any terrain. But sitting there between the XR400R and the iconic XR600R, the 400 never really got its time to shine. It didn't rack up major race wins, and the specs seemed dull compared to newer machines hitting the market. That's why so many guys skipped right over it. The riders who actually spent time on them discovered they were excellent though. Solid traction, comfortable for all-day sessions in the woods or desert, and that Honda dependability everyone expected. Only real drawbacks were the kickstart and a carb that needed some work to really come alive. You can grab decent ones for $2,500 to $3,500, and really clean examples run $3,500 to $4,500. Number 6. Honda CRM 250AR, 1997 to 1999, JDM only. Most American guys have never even seen a CRM 250AR because Honda only built it for Japan. It featured Honda's AR combustion system, which was designed to make a two-stroke run cleaner and more refined. What you got was a 249cc bike that could handle enduro riding, light dual sport work, and even some touring while still having that two-stroke personality. The AR version was far more sophisticated than people realize. The power delivered gently at low RPM, stayed consistent in the mid-range, and was easier to manage than most 252 strokes. You could take it on trails, pavement, fire roads, anything. The downside is the AR system requires someone who understands how to service it, and you need to import these, which means dealing with paperwork and sourcing parts internationally. Collectors will spend money for the scarcity though. Imported examples run $4,000 to $5,500, and really clean low-mileage ones can reach $5,500 to $7,500. Number 5. Yamaha TTR 250, 1999 to 2006. If you were riding dirt back in the 70s and 80s, you probably remember bikes that were just reliable and solid. That's exactly what the TTR 250 delivered. Yamaha built it with a 249cc air-cooled four-stroke, gave it electric start, and set up the riding position to be comfortable for longer sessions. Older guys really connected with this bike because it wasn't pretending to be anything other than what it was. Yamaha pushed it as a recreational machine, and without any racing history behind it, riders didn't give it much respect. But here's what those riders missed. This was among the most durable off-road bikes Yamaha ever produced. It was straightforward, ran smoothly, and you could spend all day on trails and back roads without any issues. Sure, the suspension was on the soft side, and it carried a bit more weight than an XR250R, but if your priority was reliability over outright speed, the TTR 250 was an excellent pick. Right now, you're looking at $2,000 to $2,800 for good examples, or $2,800 to $3,500 if you come across a really clean one. Number 4. Suzuki RMX 250 1989 to 1998. Back when two-strokes dominated the 90s, the RMX 250 kind of disappeared into the background. Suzuki developed it from the RM 250 motocross bike, so it had that same aggressive nature, 249cc of quick power, solid handling, suspension that performed well. But they modified it for enduro and cross-country guys who needed something that could run hard for extended periods. The problem was, Kawasaki's KDX bikes ruled the woods, KTM was gaining popularity, and Suzuki barely advertised the RMX. They didn't produce it for very long either, so it just faded out. The guys who actually put miles on them understood it was strong though, powerful delivery that was still manageable, really stable on longer wood sections, and honestly, among the better enduro bikes from the 90s that nobody mentions. Locating body panels can be difficult, and you need to de-restrict it to get it breathing right. Current price is $2,200 to $3,200 for decent examples, or $3,200 to $4,200 if it's clean and properly configured. Number 3. Yamaha WR200R 1991 to 1993. This is one of those bikes that almost nobody encountered. The WR200R was a 200cc two-stroke with YPVS that weighed next to nothing. It was built for tight technical riding, you could thread it through trees with ease, and the power was refined enough that it didn't exhaust you like the harder-hitting 200s and 300s that showed up later. If you worked with it patiently, this bike could navigate single track better than most machines from that time. Yamaha only produced it for a couple years and didn't distribute it everywhere. Then, when the four-stroke WRs arrived, everyone moved on from it. Now it's uncommon, which makes it both appealing and complicated to own. Parts aren't simple to locate, and prices vary depending on whether the seller understands what they're selling. If you can track one down, expect to spend $3,000 to $4,000 for a decent example, or $4,000 to $5,500 for a clean one with a title. Number 2. Kawasaki KDX 220R, 1997 to 2005. The KDX 220R has always been an odd case. On paper, it seemed like a step down from the popular KDX 200, just a 216cc, two-stroke with kips, lightweight frame, power-tuned for trails. But when you actually rode it, you experienced stronger low-end grunt. It climbed better, and it felt really stable on single track. Made long sessions in the woods much less exhausting. The issue was the factory piston. It was junk and would fail, which gave the entire bike a poor reputation. Word spread quickly, and riders started calling it the unreliable KDX. What they didn't understand was that if you simply replaced the piston and jetted it correctly, this bike was actually really capable. Once you addressed that, it maintained speed excellently through the woods and tackled technical sections like it was built for them. You need to swap that piston immediately, and the carb can be slightly finicky, but a properly sorted 220R is honestly among the better woods bikes from that period. These sell for $2,000 to $3,000 in decent condition, or $3,000 to $4,000 if someone already handled the work to fix it. Number 1. Husqvarna WR360, 1992 to 2002. When riders discuss big-bore two-strokes from the 90s, they usually bring up the CR500 or KX500. The Husky WR360 kind of slipped through the cracks. It packed about 360cc of real power and a solid Husqvarna frame engineered for speed. The torque could haul you across desert, climb steep terrain, and cruise on open trails. At higher speeds, the frame felt stable and composed, quality Swedish engineering. But in the US, Husqvarna dealers were scarce, parts were inconsistent, and the bike never gained much traction. Riders assumed it was too aggressive or too unusual to be reliable. Guys who actually rode one learned the power was controllable though, with a wide power band that pulled strong without wearing you down. Dial it in properly, and the WR360 is among the best big bores from that period. These days, you're paying $3,000 to $4,000 for solid examples, and $4,000 to $5,500 for clean, well-maintained bikes. So that's the list. These bikes never chased championships or landed on magazine covers. They just performed. Some of them had their issues, sure, but the guys who actually put time on them learned pretty fast that these machines could really deliver. If you've spent time on any of these bikes, drop a comment and tell me which one and what your experience was. And if sleeper off-road bikes surprised you even a little, you should absolutely watch the 2026 adventure motorcycle video that is already up. Catch you in the next one!